Hey there. Ever heard of Hermeticism? No, it's not some obscure yoga pose or a new age diet trend. It's actually one of the most fascinating philosophical and spiritual traditions in human history. Think of it as a blend of mysticism, science, and philosophy that dates back thousands of years. Intrigued? Let's dive into the world of Hermes Trismegistus, alchemy, and cosmic secrets. Trust me, by the end of this chat, you'll feel like you've stepped into a hidden library full of ancient wisdom. First things first, what is Hermeticism? At its core, it's a system of beliefs and practices rooted in the writings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who's basically the love child of two iconic figures, Hermes, the Greek messenger god, and Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom. Imagine combining the quick wit of Hermes with the deep knowledge of Thoth, and you've got yourself a divine sage who supposedly authored sacred texts known as the Corpus Hermeticum. These texts explore everything from the nature of God and the cosmos to the soul's journey and how humans can reconnect with the divine. It's like reading a spiritual guidebook for life, but instead of find your purpose, it says, realize you're already part of the grand design. One of the coolest things about Hermeticism is its foundational principles, often referred to as the Seven Hermetic Principles. These aren't just random ideas, they're like universal laws that explain how reality works. Ready to have your mind blown? Here they are. The principle of mentalism. All is mind. Everything in existence originates from thought or consciousness. In other words, reality is shaped by what we think and believe. Sound familiar? This idea has parallels in modern quantum physics. The principle of correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. What happens on one level of existence mirrors what happens on another. Your inner state reflects your outer world and vice versa. Mind blown. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Every atom, emotion, and energy field vibrates at a specific frequency. Raise your vibe, raise your life, sound like Instagram spirituality? That's because this principle influenced it. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Opposites are actually two sides of the same coin. Hot, cold, light, dark, joy, sorrow, all interconnected. Embrace the paradoxes of life. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. Life operates in cycles, ups and downs, seasons, even emotions. Ride the waves, my friend. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Karma, anyone? This principle reminds us that our actions ripple outward, creating consequences large and small. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Not just about human biology, it's about creation itself. Masculine energy initiates, feminine energy nurtures. Balance them both, and boom, you've got harmony. These principles might sound abstract, but they're surprisingly practical. Once you start applying them, you'll see patterns everywhere, from relationships to career choices to self-improvement. Now let's talk about alchemy, one of Hermeticism's most famous contributions. When people hear alchemy, they usually picture medieval dudes in pointy hats trying to turn lead into gold. And while that's partly true, alchemy isn't just about material wealth. It's also a metaphor for personal transformation. In alchemical terms, lead represents the base, unrefined aspects of ourselves, our fears, doubts, and limitations. Gold symbolizes enlightenment, purity, and mastery over oneself. The process of transforming lead into gold mirrors the journey of purifying the soul and aligning with higher truths. Kind of poetic, right? Alchemy also gave birth to modern chemistry, which means those lab experiments you did in high school owe a debt to these mystical thinkers. Pretty cool crossover, huh? Here's where things get really interesting. If you've ever dabbled in astrology, tarot, meditation, or even mindfulness apps, guess what? You've already encountered echoes of Hermeticism. Many New Age practices draw inspiration from its teachings, especially the idea that we're all connected to the universe and capable of co-creating our reality. For example, astrology ties directly to the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. Meditation and manifestation techniques tap into the principle of mentalism. Yoga and energy healing align with the principle of vibration. Even pop culture icons like Beyoncé and Kendrick Lamar have referenced Hermetic concepts in their music. So yeah, this ancient tradition is way more relevant than you might think. Okay, so why should you care about something that started thousands of years ago? Because Hermeticism offers tools for navigating life's big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? How can I live a meaningful life? It encourages curiosity, introspection, and a deeper connection to the world around you. Instead of seeing life as random or chaotic, Hermeticism invites you to view it as an intricate web of correspondences and rhythms. Suddenly, challenges become opportunities for growth, and coincidences feel like synchronicities guiding you forward. Plus, there's something undeniably empowering about realizing you're not just a passive observer in the universe, you're an active participant. Whether you're exploring your spirituality, improving your mindset, or simply looking for answers. Hermeticism provides a roadmap for understanding yourself and the cosmos. So what do you think? Does Hermeticism resonate with you, or does it sound too esoteric? Either way, it's worth exploring, even if only to gain a fresh perspective on life. After all, who wouldn't want to unlock the secrets of the universe? If you're curious, start small. Read up on the 7 Hermetic Principles. Try journaling about how they show up in your daily life, or experiment with practices like meditation, affirmations, or even astrology. You never know. You might discover a whole new side of yourself. And hey, if nothing else, you'll have some awesome conversation starters next time you're hanging out with friends. Let me know what sparks your interest, because diving into Hermeticism is truly an adventure worth taking.